Gentle. Top 10 national parks in the USA. Mike, do you know any national parks from the States?
Not one.
Do you know any in the UK? You should know at least
Yeah,
one or two.
the one in what's it called? Oxford Hyde Park, in the national park.
Hyde Park.
Is it?
That's not. I don't believe that. Bro, I don't think Hyde Park is a national. I think there's one called Northumberland or something like that.
Don't know this.
Northumberland or something like that. I'm literally searching them up right now because we did this in geography.
Oh, geography is my worst subject in school.
Yeah. So we've got the Lake District, Peak District, and the Yorkshire Dales. We should know this, but but the thing is that for the most part, like I don't really leave London, and I don't really go outside London like that. That's the thing, But yeah, we're gonna check out the USA national parks top 10. It's probably gonna be subjective because it depends on individual. But yes, smash this like button, sub to our Patreon if you haven't already. Enough talking, let's dive in there.
What's going on, everybody? Today we're going to be exploring some of the best travel and hiking destinations in the United States. The U.S. is filled with national parks, state parks, monuments, national forests, BLM land, and an infinitely long list of places to travel to. But there's a reason why so many people flock to the national parks. They're amazing. And I mean a lot of people. The national parks get roughly 300 million visits annually. In this video, I will be sharing my favorite parks with you, but it's worth noting that I will only be talking about parks in the lower 48, so this video is going to exclude Hawaii and Alaska. Real quick, if you could hit that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, I'd love you forever. But let's dive right in. This is my top 10 USA national parks. First up is Zion National Park, which is my favorite of Utah's mighty 5 national parks. It's located in Springdale, or just under an hour from St. George in southwest Utah. Zion Scenic Drive cuts right through the center of its beautiful steep-fed cliffs. This place is filled with a handful of some of my favorite hikes, and even a hike that's dubbed the scariest hike in North America, and that is Angel's Landing, which is 4.3 miles with roughly 18...
So wait, a national park. I don't know how the US define national parks. In the UK, I believe it's an area that's owned by the government or so.
Are these man-made?
Which ones?
This is something like this.
These rocks.
Just in general, the whole place.
Nah, bro. This is all nature, bro.
All nature, yeah.
I believe so. Beautiful. I mean, what?
See, this doesn't look like America to me. They don't like. Obviously, maybe I'm not searching for it, but obviously, I'm really more into sports, so I don't know that America has stuff like this. Until we watched the video prior, I didn't know that America was this beautiful and had landscape and national parks that are this unbelievable. So it's fascinating to watch, man.
Yeah, it's a very diverse country, bro. Geography-wise as well. Geography-wise, it's very diverse. There's some place in America you would never imagine was in America, bro. That's right on.
Unless you educate yourself.
So
which is what we're doing now. So thank you guys for the suggestions.
Yeah. But yeah, just like what I was saying, I don't know how you lot define national parks. In the UK, it's an area that's owned by the government and it's protected. There's certain things that you can't do. Very strict rules and regulations.
I think it's very similar in America.
Yeah.
100 feet of elevation gain. And after the switchbacks, you have the famous change section, which is a narrow strip of trail with 1,000-foot cliff drops on both sides of you. And a few other classic hikes to do here include the Narrows, Zion Canyon Overlook, Emerald Pools, Court of the Patriarchs, and the Watchman Trail. And if you're looking for something off the beaten path to do here, Colap Canyon in the northwest section of the park is a must. At number 2, we have Glacier, which is one of my all-time favorite parks. It's filled with beautiful aqua blue alpine lakes, towering mountain peaks, glaciers, and all sorts of wildlife. Glacier is located in northern Montana, just under the Canadian border. This park also has a handful of family-friendly options and places to just hang out at, like Lake McDonald, Logan Pass, Jackson Glacier, and St. Mary's Lake. But there's also a never-ending amount of insanely beautiful hikes like Cracker Lake, Iceberg Lake, Grinnell Glacier, and Highline Trail, and so much more.
Yep.
You know, I told you I went on a hike not too long ago, like 2, 3 months ago.
Yep.
Have you ever been on a hike?
Never. Never.
It's
I'd
something
love
you've
to
got to
try
do.
it for
The
sure.
next time I go on it one, I'm gonna invite you, 100%, bro.
Come on, bro. I'm ready. I'm ready. You know, that's actually one of my New Year resolutions is to
You would love it because
try
you like
try.
walking. I don't even like walking, so
Yeah.
a hike for you would be so much fun, and you mix with new people.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. That when I have time, and I go on a new one,
Yeah.
I'm definitely shouting you, bro.
For sure, bro. For sure. You know, I love adventure, fam. You know, especially outdoors in the mountains, man. It seems like it seemed like it could be a great experience. You know.
Hmm.
It's a great place for climbing peaks, but the rock is loose and the peaks are technical. But there's just such a range of things to do here. Next up is Yellowstone, which is one of the most touristy parks in the country, but also one of the most unique and amazing ones. Yellowstone is home to the famous Old Faithful geyser, which erupts at predictable intervals every single day. It's also home to Grand Prismatic Spring, which to me looks like it could quite possibly be the heart of our planet. The colors are just so rich and beautiful. But there's also so much more to Yellowstone than these
Look at
iconic
that.
places. While you're here, you also need to check out Norris Geyser Basin, Grand Canyon of the Yellowstone, and Black Sand Basin. Black Sand Basin, we saw one of the most beautiful sunset of our lives
Oh
here.
my fam, look at that, bro. Like I think I told you this already, right? That the US has some of the best sunsets on the planet, bro. Remember when I was in South Dakota, bro, in the evening, like 5 to 6 p.m. It's absolutely incredible. I swear down, bro. Absolutely incredible. You know.
Like I said, if you're coming here, definitely make sure you save some time to check out other places other than Old Faithful and Grand Prismatic. After Yellowstone, we're just going to drive an hour or two south and reach our next destination, Grand Teton National Park. The hub for this park is the town of Jackson. You can drive here from Salt Lake City to the south, Denver from the east, or my favorite, from Idaho to the west. If you drive from Idaho, you get to go through Teton Pass, which is a great place for backcountry skiing and snowboarding, and a great place for photography. Once you enter the park, you'll be greeted with surreal views of the Tetons. The most famous peak here is obviously Grand Teton, but some other notable peaks are Middle Teton, South Teton, Tiwanaw, and Mount Moran, rising high above the lakes below. My favorite hikes here include Delta Lake and Lake of the Crags, but if you're looking for some easier hikes or just some great destinations, you should check out Hidden Falls, Jenny Lake, and Taggart Lake. Also, Schwabacher Landing is a great place to see as well. Hopefully I pronounced that right. We'll see if I get roasted in the comments, who knows. But in both the Tetons and Yellowstone, there's wildlife, so please keep this in mind. Keep your distance, to respect the animals, and just enjoy seeing them from a distance. One last unique thing to do here is to take a scenic flight around the Tetons from Jackson Hole's airport. It's a surreal experience, and you can also fly over Yellowstone if you'd like. And really quick, I'd like to hop in here and mention that I have a top 10 hike and travel guide for a handful of these parks on my channel. So while this is a great overview for some of the best parks in the country, if you're looking for more detailed travel guides with individual hiking specs and places that are accessible and family friendly, those can be found on my channel. There are dozens and dozens of top 10s that can help you plan your trips.
Yeah, go support his channel, man.
But next up is going to be Yosemite National Park, which just might be the most famous national park in the country, especially now after the documentary Free Solo came out. Yosemite Valley boasts some of the most impressive granite cliffs in the country, which the notable peaks and walls here being El Cap and Half Dome, both of which have iconic rock climbing routes, but you're also able to hike to the top of both of them. Although for Half Dome you will need a permit because the hiking route is via the cables, which have a permit system set in place. If you're not looking to hike, some great places to visit are Glacier Point, where you'll have stunning views of Half Dome. It's a great spot for sunset.
Look at this, bro. This is incredible. You know, I can imagine, yeah, waking up early in the morning, fam, and going for like a light jog. Swear down. Imagine. This is my type of environment, man. I'm not a city guy, you know, Mike. I hate living in a big city.
You're a
bro.
country boy.
I'm not really. I wouldn't stretch it to say I'm a country boy, but like, I do love nature as well. Like, you know, I love nature. You know, but yeah, this is incredible. Incredible.
And then also Vernal Falls and Nevada Falls. Taft Point is another great destination, and of course Bridal Veil Falls and Tunnel View. Really everything you're going to do here is incredible, and even just the drive through the park and through the valley is awesome. At number 6, we have Mount Rainier in Washington State. Rainier is one of the most unique mountains in the country. It stands tall at 14,410 feet above sea level, towering over every single other mountain in the
Oh
area.
my God. Sorry for pausing the video again,
Cloud.
guys.
Look at the cloud, bro.
I have to pause it. How can we skip past this bit? This is heaven right here. I swear down, bro. People talking about going to heaven. Like, fam, heaven is right here. You know, look at this. Imagine going for a drive, Mike. You know, going for a drive, you know, solo, fresh breeze blowing in your face. Doesn't beat this. I bet you, like those, like traveling by road around America is probably one of the best experiences anyone can have,
For sure.
you know?
area. Washington State is home to the Cascades and the Olympic Mountains, a never-ending amount of jagged and steep mountain peaks, but Rainier stands above them all, and on a clear day you can see Rainier all the way from Seattle. It's a great backdrop to the skyline. And it's a glaciated volcano, so there will be snow on the mountain year-round. My two favorite hikes in the park are Mount Fremont Fire Lookout, which is a great sunset hike that's 5.7 miles round trip with just over 1,000 feet of elevation gain, and my other favorite hike is Myrtle Falls, and this one is less than a half-mile round trip, so it's a very easy and quick stop. And this is also a great area to see wildflowers. Next up, at number 7, we're going to be heading to northern Arizona for Grand Canyon National Park. I feel like this list wouldn't be complete without including this bucket list location.
Very famous.
The Grand Canyon is one of the most special places in the world. It's no wonder millions of people travel here every single year. The Grand Canyon has an unfathomable amount of layered bands of red rock that showcase millions of years of geological history. Over millions of years, water carved out the canyon through water's tremendous erosive power. And while the Colorado River flows through 7 states, as it flows through the Grand Canyon, it's home mostly to Arizona. There are tons of roadside pull-offs to enjoy the Grand Canyon, but if you're looking for something a little bit more intense and adventurous,
We've heard about the Grand Canyon a few times. It's been mentioned in a few
Yeah, and even Yellowstone as well.
and the Yellowstone. So it's quite interesting that
Yeah,
everyone holds it very high.
Mm-hmm.
You get me? It's very high on most people's list, so it must be a phenomenal sight to see. So
yeah.
I love to hear about the Great Canyon. I mean,
Yeah.
the kind of
It's actually one of those places I want to visit, Grand
Have
Canyon and Yellowstone as well.
Grand Canyon. So yeah.
Yeah.
there are tons of roadside pull-offs to enjoy the Grand Canyon, but if you're looking for something a little bit more intense and adventurous, you can check out the Bright Angel Trail or North Kaibab Trail, which will take you all the way to a white sand beach at the bottom of the Grand Canyon. It's almost a 20-mile day, but man, this is such an amazing experience. The Grand Canyon is also home to the Hopi Salt Trail, which is a place that much less people know about, and it is outside of the national park boundary, but the Hopi Salt Trail is a very long and difficult hike. It takes you to the bottom of the little Colorado River and the Colorado River where they meet for the confluence. While this hike is just a few
look at
miles
that.
outside of the park, it's still
even
very
real.
much a part of the Grand Canyon, so I thought it was
crazy.
worth noting. And it's a part that few people make it to, might I add, because it is very remote. I have a very detailed travel guide on everything you need to know for this place, so I'll link that in the caption if you'd like to see. Next up, we're in New England and on the coast of Maine with Acadia National Park, a region quite possibly home to the most beautiful fall foliage in the world. But this park has so much more to see, like Cadillac Mountain, where during October to March, you are the first person in the entire country to see the sunrise, which is pretty cool if you ask me. And there's also a handful of places along the park drive that have beautiful coastline viewpoints where you can just hang out, watch the waves, and the tide come and go. Good stops for this are Schooner Head Overlook, Sand Beach, and Thunder Hole, just to name a few. My all-time favorite hike in the park is the Precipice Trail and the Beehive Trail. You can hike these separate if you like, but if you're up for a few additional miles, you can hike them together as one big point-to-point hike. These hikes ascend the mountains of Acadia, and you're climbing the rock with the assistance of iron rungs in the rock. It's pretty exhilarating and maybe not for those that have a fear of heights, but if you'd like adventure, then this trail is for you. It's almost a mixture of hiking and a via ferrata, where you don't actually need any gear. And it's worth noting that the town for the park, Bar Harbor, is stunning and a great destination on its own. At number 9, we're heading back to Utah, but this time we're going to Moab and we're going to Arches National Park. Arches is such a unique place. There's more than 2,000 documented arches in the park, plus pinnacles, balanced rocks, and other kind of geological formations. It's beautiful, but the best time of day here is golden hour, where the entire park lights up pink and orange. Arches is great for landscape photography and hikers, but it's also an extremely family-friendly park, and you don't
And
need
when I'm looking at this, these rock formations, it just gives you an idea of nature, man. Nature is bro, it's fascinating, man. These are all, shapes that have been created over millions of years by basically the ocean, It's mad. It's mad, Nature is incredible, man. Look at this right here. It's mad.
Arches is great for landscape photography and hikers, but it's also an extremely family-friendly park, and you don't need more than a weekend here to see the best places this park has to offer. You could even see quite a bit if you only had one day. One hike you have to do while visiting here is Delicate Arch, a 3.2-mile hike with 600 feet of elevation gain, and you'll also have to do Double Arch, which is less than a mile round trip from the car, and if you're looking for other great places to see and hikes to do, you should check out the Windows, Tourette Arch, Sand Dune Arch, Landscape Arch, and Park Avenue. Last up, but certainly not least, is in my now home state of Colorado, and that is Rocky Mountain National Park, which is just over an hour outside of Denver. Rocky Mountain is one of my favorite national parks and holds a special place in my heart. It's one of the first national parks I went to, and probably one of the places that sparked my hiking career. There's some national parks where you can see the best of the best without hiking and just by driving. For example, Yosemite. But Rocky Mountain is not one of those places. Sure, there are a few amazing places that are less than a 2-mile hike, like Dream Lake, Emerald Lake, and Bear Lake, but if you really want to see the best places this park has to offer, you need to plan for some pretty big hiking days. Some of the best places, in my opinion, are 7 to 14-mile hikes, if not longer, and this includes Sky Pond, Andrews Glacier, Chasm Lake, just to name a few. You can also take a scenic drive on Trail Ridge Road, which is the highest continuously paved road in the United States, crossing the Continental Divide at 12,183 feet above sea level. Rocky Mountain is also home to Long's Peak, which is the only mountain in the park that stands above 14,000 feet. It's likely the most famous 14er in the entire state, with a hiking route to the summit and hundreds of rock climbing routes. That's going to wrap up this video. It's worth noting that this list is relative and everyone has their own opinion. These are just my favorites after traveling to national parks for the last 8 years. A few of my other favorites include Big Bend, Death Valley, and the Great Smoky Mountains, but anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video and got a few ideas for your next road trip. Like I mentioned, on my channel I have dozens of travel guides and top 10s for some of these parks individually and just other places in general, so check those out, and if you haven't already hit that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, that would mean the world to me if you could. But anyways, I will see you later. Thank you so much for watching.
Great vid.
Yeah, this is subjective though, so we are fully aware that it's based on his opinions, isn't it? But these are incredible national parks. I can't lie, incredible. I don't think the UK can compete. But yeah, Mike, do you have anything to say before we?
Great video.
Wrap it up.
Thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm learning a lot more about America's landscapes and national treasures.
Yeah,
And I would love to visit one day, man. So thank you guys for the suggestion.
yeah,
Keep subscribing and check out our Patreon, man. More bangers coming. Appreciate it, guys.
for
And I
sure.
hope that the sound is fixed.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah, man.
Abram's been working
Yeah.
very hard behind the scenes.
Seriously,
trying to
man.
fix the sound.
3 months now. Seriously, Mike.
I know. I bought a mic a long time ago, so you guys think I don't have a good mic.
Yeah,
It
it's clearly
wasn't
wasn't his mic. I think it was because he had this cable that he was missing, because I think his laptop was getting confused with his input and output device. I think that I don't want to get too technical here. It's gonna be too long. So basically, we fixed his audio. So moving forward now, we shouldn't have any sound problems.
Hopefully.
But yeah, if you like the reaction, smash this like button. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, man. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. That's it.